Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here at the top of Clendennin Road at where Pocahontas Road turns off of Clendennin Road. It's Clendennin Road going right down through there, going down the mountain. There's my truck sitting down there, and if you turn around this way and take a look, that's Clendennin Road going up to the top of the mountain. That big oak tree up there right beside the road, it's only maybe about less than a quarter mile up there, and that's the very top of the mountain where Clendennin Road goes over top of the mountain there. If you take a look at that mountain ridge up there, that's the Peters Mountain Ridge. And if you walk down Pocahontas Road here, about a quarter mile, then on the left, the Appalachian Trail takes off and goes up the mountain there, goes up to the rice field shelter. From where it cuts off down here at off of Pocahontas Road, and it goes up toward the rice field shelter. It's about 2 miles up to the rice field shelter. Now, if you see that blaze there on the post, the Appalachian Trail actually walks right down that road there for about a quarter mile until you cut off to the left and head up Peters Mountain there, up toward the rice field shelter. Now, so it walks down that little road there, and then it actually comes right across Clendennin Road here. The trail walks right across Clendennin Road, and then here you can see the steps headed up, and here's the steps headed up the Appalachian Trail, and this takes you up to the top of Clendennin Mountain. It's about like 500 feet or so elevation climb, and I've had the flu here a couple of weeks ago. It really put me under the weather, so I'm going to go ahead and climb up there, get my heart pumping, and I'll record a little bit on the way while I'm going up. You see, these are a lot of rhododendron here on the side of the trail. Somebody's got bottles of water out here. Actually, those are empty. Here's a little hiker sign. Tells you that the trail is going to be, after you cross the Clendennin Road there, it's going to walk through private property, and that little road there is like that's Pocahontas Road for Jefferson National Forest. But there is just a little bitty section down there that is privately owned. But most of it is Jefferson National Forest. This part right in here belongs to the Appalachian Trail, or the Forest Service. It used to be belonged to the Clendennin Corporation, but they did a land transfer agreement with the Appalachian Trail here like a year or so ago. What happened was the Appalachian Trail walked through the Clendennin Corporation property, and in order to get the Appalachian Trail off of Clendennin's property, the Appalachian Trail folks and the Clendennin Corporation, they cut off some land on the edge of the Clendennin's property and let the Appalachian Trail folks buy that, so that they could, it wouldn't be cutting right through their property, and that gave the Clendennin Corporation better access to their own property, and they wouldn't have that much of a problem with the hikers going across their land. So it worked out good for the Appalachian Trail folks and the Soundings Corporation. This is a big red oak tree here that I'm looking at. The base diameter there is about 3.5 foot. It's really a huge, nice oak tree. It's a red oak tree. I'm not sure exactly what kind of red oak, but it's really a beautiful big tree here, about 3.5 foot in diameter there at the base, maybe 4 foot. Most of this land down here in southwest Virginia, and as far as that goes throughout the United States, has been timbered out, and as a result, you don't see a whole bunch of big super trees. Now, what has happened is when it was timbered out, they left some big trees, and they kind of thinned out a lot. But if you take a look up through there, you'll see a lot of small growth trees, maybe 10, 15 years old. You'll see some big ones like that one there we're taking a look at. It's about 2.5 or 3 foot diameter at the base. And this one right here, this is about a 3 foot diameter here at the base. And once again, it's another big oak tree. Walking on up the trail here, had this not have been timbered out many years ago, you would see some trees in here that are like, huge trees. When the settlers came over to America from England and places in Europe, there were trees over here with 10 foot and 15 foot diameter bases. And since then, all that has been timbered out. And there's a lot of timber sold down in this area. But not as much, anywhere near as much as used to be. If you take a look, there's an oak tree right there, and you see those red splotches that I'm looking at right there. Those are gypsy moth egg masses, and that tree right there is dead. If you take a look up at the top of it, you can see that oak tree is dead. And there's some gypsy moths going on in here. A lot of the oak trees are actually alive in here. There's an effort by the Virginia Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Forest Service to stop the spread of the gypsy moth, and it's called STP, Stop the Spread. And one thing that they do is they spray certain selected areas to keep the gypsy moths from killing all the oak trees. Certain areas that they don't spray, I have seen thousands and thousands of dead oaks killed by the gypsy moths. What happens is the forest, and here's a little switchback I'm taking now. Trail came right up through there, and it did about a 90-degree turn here, and it's headed on up the trail. So there's a blaze there. We're coming up on 10 minutes here. So I'm headed on up here, and you can see right up the trail here, there's another, it's a double blaze, indicating that the trail changes direction. A single blaze means the trail goes straight. A double blaze means that the trail makes a sharp turn. So this double blaze here indicates that the trail indeed makes a sharp turn, and it does right there, right after that big rock there. Trail turns and goes right along up through there. You can see the trail from here. So I'm going to go ahead and make the turn here, and we're up here about 11 minutes now, coming on 12 minutes. So I'm going to cut this thing off here in a couple minutes before we hit 15 minutes, because I post these videos on YouTube, and YouTube tends to not like anything that's more than 15 minutes in duration. So I'll cut it off here in a bit. There's another big oak tree there. That's a big, nice red oak tree. Probably when this place was timbered out, that tree was maybe about a foot or so in diameter, and they left that tree. Or it could have been a fairly good sized tree that they really didn't think would make good timber, good lumber, so they left it. So I'm getting on up the mountain here, and I see a deer track right here. You can see that deer track. Looks kind of old, but it is a deer track. And here's another one down there. You can see that small deer, not a big one. But walking on along the trail here, there's another track right there. You can see that one. Walking on along the trail here, and you can tell that my breathing is getting a little labored. What I'm trying to do is get back in shape here for the summer. I was walking like 5 kilometers a day until the flu hit me. Now here's a big deer track right here. You can see a big deer track there. Yeah, I was walking about 5 kilometers a day until the flu hit me, and then I haven't been doing that for about 3 weeks or so at least. So I'm trying to start walking a little bit more and get back in shape some. So the plan is today to walk up to the top of Clendennin mountain here. It's not far, maybe a quarter mile to a half mile up there. And then of course same distance back down. So the plan, like I say, is to walk on up there and then get a little exercise and come on back down. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks a lot. If you folks enjoyed it, please subscribe. I appreciate you doing that, and you folks have a nice day.